So, welcome to the first official episode of What You Saying podcast. I'm Young Ems and my co-host is
Tun-Tun.
Today we'll be speaking a bit about the TikTok ban that officially didn't happen in America or did for not even 24 hours.
Well done, Trump.
Yeah, well done. His first great move back into office. So we'll be discussing a few bits on that. If it would have affected us as a country, which I don't think it would have, to be fair, and a few other issues and topics that are going on in the world. But the first thing we will start on is obviously the TikTok ban.
Why?
Yeah.
Why did he do it?
Well, what they're saying is that it was a reason of national security.
A security of what though?
I don't get it because it's an app. So how there can be a national security from an app? Like,
How can it get our bank details or identification?
I think in that sense, when you look at it like that, you can, yeah, in like hacking and cyber crime, but I don't know.
Then they won't let us have any app.
That's
then?
what I mean, because anything that we've got
And they all
nowadays is
worldwide.
Chinese, yeah.
But they're all worldwide, and you can have anyone on
From
any
anywhere.
app.
So I don't know. For me, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. It's kind of like a psyop, something stupid, like we was kind of speaking about earlier. Did they do it for a reason, for like mass? See if they can do something in a quick time to
How
control a
quick they
big
can do it.
amount of people. So I think it's got something crazy to do with that, because people are going on about.
Because remember that alert thing? You just reminded me of that actually. Remember that alert that come through all of our phones?
See, I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
I did, but I didn't actually do anything about it. I just let it do.
Was that something to do with not earthquake, but like I remember seeing
they
it.
were saying that it was to see if they could alert us all at the
If
same
something
time.
was happening,
yeah,
then
yeah. So could it be something to do with that? Because the same sort of scenario, ain't it? Like all phones in one go,
It could be.
taking something off or.
It definitely could be. One to think about. But I don't know. Even though Trump's not really a fan, well, we know Trump's not a fan of China. 100% he's not a fan of China. I know that he doesn't like the Chinese.
Could be a fan of his own people.
Nah, he loves America. Come on, man. You've got to give it like, come on. He's MAGA and he make America great again. Come on, like he's definitely for that. But I feel like it's gonna be a bit crazy to see how this year pans out with him being president. That's what I wanna watch. I feel like the little bit of him being besties with Elon Musk's a bit weird. I'm like.
No, he's been voted back in, and so the people must want him no matter what they think he's gonna do.
I think he's a people person, and he does. He's definitely a people
just
person.
does that way. I got a picture, turkey teeth, a mop of hair, and a little queen's wave.
Oh, don't. But I think since they nearly took his clout out and clipped the right ear of him, I feel like he's just gone a bit more. He's gone past. He's superseded everything now, because he's untouchable. Like, we can't kill him. So what else is there next to do for him? Do you know what I mean?
What is he gonna do?
This is what I'm saying. What's he gonna do now? Is he gonna shake up the whole country?
Like you said, it weren't him that was gonna ban TikTok anyway, was it? He's the one that's made it come back, innit?
No, he said in his own private quote. So he opposed it. He opposed TikTok, but even though he opposed TikTok, he'd reversed the decision so that the people that are providing users to enable TikTok, like off their basically off their servers, so they can actually access TikTok in that country. He said he won't prosecute. So that's why then they reversed it, because they was just scared about people.
Prosecute for what?
So basically, if like all the servers banned it Saturday, yeah, when they banned TikTok, for not even a day.
Yeah.
So on that Saturday, then everybody said, listen, you can't. When they've gone to click on their TikTok, you can't get into it anymore. Like you can't get into it. Like that's it. He says America now. So then he said, what Trump said, I will reverse it so that those companies don't get in trouble for people that want to connect to the servers to go onto TikTok. So he's basically just re-allowed it, but he's saying that.
It's people's choice, isn't it? Like if they want to have TikTok, they can have
Yeah,
it.
of
If you don't
course.
want TikTok,
Yeah.
you just don't
But
download
I
the
feel
app.
like if it's gonna be, you're gonna scrutinise TikTok like that. Like there's never been another app what you've scrutinised like this. Let's be honest about
Is it because it can make people money?
This is what I'm saying. Is it because it's give people, some people, financial freedom?
No.
They can do what they want to do. It gives them more freedom with their kids, their family, more stuff to do. You ain't got to be knackered from working a 9 to 5 job. So it gives you many options, don't it? It opens up a world for you that they don't really want you, honestly, to be living.
So pretend, did they pretend to take it away?
I feel like that's what it kind of was. Yeah, it's like a psyop, like yeah. That's what it is.
So not what you say, not even 24 hours.
Not even 24 hours. It was reinstated. Took off.
And it actually did happen, as American people put.
Yeah, there was actual.
There is evidence of it actually happening.
Yeah. I've seen it this morning. To be fair with you, but it's crazy. But it's. Do you know what? It's made the algorithm for TikTok go a bit crazy.
With
like
the
for followers, mass following.
Yeah.
So it's been interesting to actually see that the past week of how crazy it's gone. Because I know I've gained a lot of followers, and I know you've gained a lot of followers.
Yeah, because
I know the podcast has gained a lot of followers as well.
But you've got to be in it to gain it as well.
Yeah,
we've had to do the teamwork and the mass following.
Yeah, to get up.
To get it ourselves.
Yeah. Definitely. So I'll shout out TikTok because I am now monetized. So good to go. This year will be stupid of just promoting videos, promoting the podcast, and just getting us out there, promoting
what
us
are you
more.
saying?
Yeah, and what are you saying? What you're saying? It's about getting involved with the podcast. It ain't just about us.
And things out there.
Yeah, they're different. Well, for every different person out there that's watching, is a different view of every single person that will be watching. Everybody will have a different view.
And
so that's what it's about. And a different answer, definitely. It's not just about us saying go on our word of what we're saying either on here. Because we're not about that on this show. We're about like
other opinions.
Go and look for yourself as well. Like if we're saying something, it's probably backed by research that we've done or
that you've done.
Or that I've done. I'm the main researcher here.
No, we don't research.
Yeah, I'm the main. Tun-Tun doesn't. She's not involved in research at the moment, but she will be. But
we will. We'll see.
Yeah, obviously it's a lot of research and stuff to sit down and on a few topics, but I kind of enjoy that part of it as well. To be fair.
You've got a busy job, I think.
Yeah, I get that. I get it.
Chilling when I get my own time.
I get it. I do. But yeah, it's just going to be a bit more viewer orientated.
Yeah.
Bringing people in, what's your point of view, what do you think?
And to ask you questions.
Yeah,
because
and
you've done the research.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
So we can actually like we can pickle their brains with some of the subjects that we're going to be.
You're going to pickle more fucking brain.
Yeah, but that's what we're about, and we're about what you're saying.
Because I don't do my research, I'm always like, oh my god.
Yeah,
for real. Oh my god.
But yeah, it's gonna be I just don't. It's weird to think that how many. What's the word? How many different type of subjects actually I want to put out there on this podcast. Because I want it to be, man, that's what I mean. Like we've got so much to talk about. It's gonna be mad.
Even them giants. Well, the giants back in the day.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get into that. Like the old Nephilim.
Things like that.
The old Nephilim. Yeah. Many stuff that I've researched that we can go in. Yeah, so the Nephilim, the Watchers. They call them that. They was the fallen angels, and when they say that the angels, obviously the fallen angels come to heaven. Come to earth. They basically mated and created with woman from earth. So
the giant did.
They breeded. Now the Watchers. So basically the fallen angels. Yeah, which obviously is in many scriptures, many Bibles. When they were cast out of heaven. They came to Earth and mated with humans. So then their offspring, then they bore giants because of the DNA of an angel and the DNA of a human were interbreeded. So then it come out as Nephilim, which were giant. They bore giant kids. So you're talking like some of these were like 12, 14 foot, 16 foot giants. Like, and there's proof. There's so much proof it's unreal. And like, obviously we'll cover that in another episode. Like fully like
I want
fully
to
like yeah. We'll break it down.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. That's just one.
Chip off the iceberg.
Oh, don't. We are going to be doing the iceberg theory. Yeah. The deeper you go down, the more there is.
Yeah.
The more to expose.
Like the Titanic.
I don't. That's just. Yeah. That is crazy.
Because of TikTok though, more kids didn't believe that Titanic was real.
Well, there's crazy stories behind that. There is like. It said that it wasn't actually the Titanic that went down, and it was another ship. There's some mad theories about it. There's also a theory that there was the richest landowner and richest man in the world at the time. He was an American man who owned a hell of a lot of land in America. He owned 53% of the land in America, so he was the majority landowner in America. And they say that he boarded, and then at the last minute, so they apparently say, there was a few members of a few important families that were obviously made aware that he was on board, and this basically come off board the ship because they knew what was going to happen. He was going to be.
How do you know this information?
Research. So I'm saying it's research. That's all it is. Just research. It's just looking it up. I'm saying like when you get into a certain topic of this and doing this, I don't know. You just want to get deeper and deeper in it. And you want to know more. There's so many twists and turns.
Yeah.
But then in a sense where like some people will say, but it can drive you crazy and mental. I've never got that. I don't understand that because you're searching for the truth. It's only the truth that you're gonna discover in this.
Yeah, but it has sent people crazy, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. But it's how you handle information, and it like I said, like anything we speak about on this show, on the podcast, like don't just take our word for it. Like go and sit down yourself. Go and. But I would suggest don't Google it because Google's just a system for the search engine. So I'd use DuckDuckGo, definitely. I'd go on there just so it's not tracking your searches and stuff like that. That's a good one to use, to be fair. Well, I use it personally anyway. Yeah, it's a good search engine. But I'd use stuff like that to go and research and just see more clearly into stuff. Because like I said, the more you click on stuff, the more it leads you to something else or something deeper. But you've just always got to look at it from a point of view, like two sides to every coin, and so is it true or is it not true? But when you've got an open mind, anyway, you're an open-minded person, which I am. You just go at it. You kind of have a feel for what's well that can't be right, or that's wrong, or that feels a bit right. Kind of go with your gut feeling on certain things, just to be like,
you just know, innit?
Yeah, you just know things that. And I think all the years of doing the research and stuff, this is why we wanted to do the show.
That's what I like documentaries.
Love documentaries.
I mean, that's what. So it's instead of me doing research and typing stuff in, I'm more of a.
Yeah, but I do the same.
So that's how I know it's some sort of information because I must watch.
Yeah, you're getting from the documentary. You're gathering some information.
Yeah. Instead of reading it and like searching, typing myself, I'll watch it on a documentary instead. Yeah. So someone else is doing the research and showing me what they've done.
But that's what I'm saying. But on that, like I'm saying, you've still got to go and do your own research and not just look at like.
Yeah, but then because I'm not enough one to let it affect me, it's just doesn't really matter if I don't do anything.
No, but it does because when we have our own podcast, like we have to, research what we're doing. If somebody clicks on, it's like, they ain't got a clue what they're doing. What are they actually on here for?
Because you're a researcher?
Yeah, I am a researcher. No, not the.
The.
One of two researchers they could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You just need to learn a bit more insight to stuff. I know sometimes information when you gets flooded to you it can be seem like a lot, but it's just how you break the information down. Do you know what I mean? If it's something massive and you can't really get your head around it, then you start in small bits. You're not fucking. We all don't know everything. Do you know what I
We
mean?
could
Like
never
that's the
know
thing.
everything. Yeah.
That's what life's about. I feel like your reason of being here is to develop or know some sort of truth or some sort of form of the truth of why we're here. Because you can't just be born, just to go to school, then go to college, then 9 to 5. Typically,
What is our purpose?
typically get married and have children and your career and you have to buy a house and where did that come from that we just have to do that? Do you know what I mean? Where I feel like that's just been fed to us. That's all we know from growing up. From you have to go to school, you have to do this, but why? Nobody ever questions well, why?
Why? Yeah.
That's what I feel like I've always been that kid from when I was young. Like I've always been like, well, but why?
Because we follow. Why we follow? We've been taught to follow.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's because and people don't. It's mad to think like we're late 30s now, but yeah, we are like even though we still look young, but we are. But it's mad to think of how it was when we was young to how it is now.
So crazy.
Like,
we had no technology.
do you know what I'm saying? We didn't have none of it. We didn't have none of the apps. Like we had like when you're born before the internet, like that's a crazy actual thing to say. Like I was born before the internet.
Yeah. I remember
That's crazy.
Channel 5 turning up.
Because there was only 4 channels.
There was only 4 channels, yeah. And then Channel 5 turned up.
See what I mean? This is what I mean. This is how. Yeah, that's mad. Now we are old.
Yeah, and they spoiled for choice.
Now it's completely like. It's mad though how we grew up in a sense as well. In our generation, where we didn't really question anything. When I think about it, even though I was I always questioned everything. To be fair, like, what are we here for? What's the purpose? Like, what's life about? What we're meant to do? Like, I've always kind of had an inkling of like, yes, from when I was young. That's what I mean. My mum's always said it. Like, I've always been like an adventuring sort of person. I like to be outdoors and like I don't like. I've never just thought myself as like, right, I'm gonna be this person in this career and like nah, like what am I gaining out of it? You're not gaining. So I see like when these people have got careers and stuff, like alright, and you're gaining obviously monetary value through you've got a career, you work up the ladder, you get higher, get promoted, make more money. I get that, but you're not getting no satisfaction from that. Like I want to know what real life's about. I want to know like why this happened or why that happened, where this come from, where that come from. Like I want to know the real deep knowledge of stuff now. But I do.
Yeah,
You have to question stuff. You have to question stuff. That's I feel like as you get older, that's how you are. I feel like you definitely. Well, like I said, I've always questioned the norm. I'm just like in school, like I'd question always history, like it didn't make sense to me, and I felt like if it didn't make sense to me in my head, like.
So I asked my RE teacher. He shouted at me in front of everyone. I asked him, "Have you got to be a virgin to be a priest?"
Wow, that is a deep question to be fair.
Wow, why shouted?
Well, it's not a deep question though. That's what I'm saying.
He didn't even answer me.
That's not even a deep question though. You've asked him. It's a question. This is what I'm saying.
But that's what happens when you ask questions that are like.
They say are morally wrong. But do you know what? That's a perfect example. That right there is a perfect example, though, isn't it?
Maybe I got shut down for asking questions in my childhood life, and now I just think, you know what?
Nah, that's what. Even like, obviously I haven't got no kids, but if I had kids, I'd want my kids to have more of an open mind than what. No, I'd open my kid's mind more to what I was when we was younger. Obviously, we grew up in a different generation and a different time, so it's going to be different from that anyway. But I just like, I want them to actually see the world for what it is without the filter, because I feel like they just filter everything and then kids think it's all right. But there's a mass awakening happening.
If you don't let your child have the tablet, the phone.
Yeah, but this is what I don't understand. Though it's about you as a parent. If you're a parent, you control that.
I know, but in society, it's hard to not, especially when they go to school and their friends have got phones and stuff like that. Then.
But they're still.
But that's where you follow yet again, isn't it? So it's.
This is what I'm saying. Following the herd.
I know, but that's just what everyone does. It's you control how much time they have on there, and then you need to control what they're watching on there. It can't be before bedtime. It can't be first thing in the morning. You know, like you have to.
Yeah, you need to be mindful.
Yeah, there's always. You can have it, but just little.
What people don't understand, a lot of people will understand, but your kids are an extension of you, innit? So when people see your children and how they are around their children and in different environments, I think you'd want your child to be like knowledgeable. Do you know what I mean? Like know their surroundings, know what not what dangers are there, but.
Yeah, but knowing about history and knowing about like general life is two different things.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is being open-minded with like your children and teaching them, like, for instance, like we were saying about going to have your kids, like to let them get injected and at school and let them have their needles and all that. There's a lot of people out there, a lot of couples that don't agree with that.
I definitely don't.
Where some parents are just like, I'm cool with it, just like, yeah, you can inject my kid. I'm not going to ask what the ingredients of what's actually in that needle are, or yeah, you're going to tell me that there could be some side effects, but you're not going to really tell me what it's for, or why they actually need it, like the real reasons. They just give you a brazen yes for this.
It's in case they catch that disease. That's what I've always been told when I've disputed it. The reason is because if they ever catch this disease that we're going to pump into them, then they've got more chance of surviving it, because the body has already had it inside it, so now the body can fight it because it knows it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But who come up with that? That's what I'd love to know.
Do you know what I said? I was just like, well, if my child never gets that disease, then therefore she never needed that bumped into her.
In the first place?
In the first place. This is what I'm saying. So, yeah, that's why.
So the only reason that it's like a trial and error they're doing with your child. Well, they might, but they might not. Like, I think where did I read the other day? I think I did of the statistics. I think by the time you're like your kid's like 8 or 9, like when we was younger, I think we probably would have went through about 9 or 10 inoculations.
What's inoculation?
So different. So like your TB. Vaccinations. You know, you had the fucking what was the
Well, I went away from the TB one.
What was the
MMR.
No, it was the measles, mumps, rubella, and something else.
There's just so many.
So that's what I mean. There was so. That's what I mean. There was so many that they was just feeding you out there. Like, I feel like it's always like a scare tactic. So the parents back then was like, oh, they need to have it done. When if you actually know what you're putting in your child anyway, ingredient wise, food wise, do you know you're not putting no chemicals and bad stuff?
TB no more, you know.
No, I don't think they do.
Give some of though, because my nephew had one the other day. At school as well.
So that's what they had, the TB?
I don't know, I don't think it was the TB. But do you remember what people used to do? They used to punch up people's arms. Obviously I never had the TB jab, so I never got affected, but people used to have mad scars at the end.
Yeah, because it all lumped up and that. You used to have that 6 thing there first, then at the 8. Do you remember that?
Yeah, but I never even had that.
Didn't you have that?
No.
And then if they say,
no.
if I'm correct, I might not be.
What?
If it's, I think it was if you had that one and if it went away or it was still there, that's how they knew whether you had to have the needle.
Yeah,
it was, wasn't it? Yeah, I can't remember which way around it was. Yeah, I had it, but yeah.
Did you have the actual TB as well?
Yeah, I had the TB one, but there was no scar or anything.
I think because I had a meningitis one
think it was
come
the
around.
MMR.
Was it? I can't remember. I just know that we had one
It's
the
like-
year before.
I think it was a 3-in-1. It was the measles, the mumps, and the rubella.
Makes me
Imagine that, man. Like, bow
No.
into your body. Yeah, I'll just have that. Have a disease and try and see if your body fights it. But what about if your body doesn't and it takes to a mad different level of, do you know what I mean? Messing with your body, like.
Well, when I give it finally to my oldest, Anna, she done it, and then when she come home, her arm swelled up that bad. Yeah, we couldn't get her school t-shirt off. We had to cut that off. Yeah, it went like a balloon, man. I took her back to the doctors. I was like, what have you done to my child? And then, you know, when I had my second, I thought, never, ever, ever again. And yeah, so no, she hasn't had it now. You don't know what's in them. Like,
No, you
really
don't. So
don't,
this is what I'm
man.
saying. What people like really need to.
And it's actually not the law.
Nah, that's another thing. Yeah, what people need to actually look up and think.
It's not
it's
actually
not a
the
law accredited where you have to abide by something or you have to do that.
But they make you feel so guilty.
Like you're doing a wrong.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand that. Like it's your child.
No, literally, if your child dies from this disease, it's your fault because they never had the vaccination. That's how deep.
That's how they make you feel.
But I thought, fuck that, not this time. Not this time. I was obviously an older woman this time. So I had my backbone this time, yeah.
No. You got to though, man. Like, sometimes you just gotta.
My whole family fought me. My whole family.
Oh, that's what I don't get. I really don't. Like.
Well, now she's like, never get ill. You know, like she's only ever sick once in her whole life. She's only 5, but she's only been sick once, and that's because she ate her own poo because sweet corn was in her poo. I swear to God,
That's a bit of a weird
one,
yeah.
Yeah, well, she loves sweet corn. She don't eat it no more. But yeah, as a baby, and obviously she must have been sick everywhere. But yeah, that's the only time in her life so far she's been sick. She had some temperatures and it was snotty noses.
Yeah, that's different. No, I feel for
But other than that,
she's not ill.
Well, that's what that happens to me. And I can get a little bit of a snotty nose, headache here and there, but I never really get knocked off my feet.
No.
And I literally run away from all them injections.
Once a year, probably get ill.
But we probably had less, didn't we, back in the day?
Yeah.
It's got more and more.
Yeah, definitely got more and more. 100%.
That's where like autistic and
you don't. But it's more prominent now in children. That's exactly what it is. Because of the.
We need to get that video on that I saw them 2 twins.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that for a next episode.
Yeah.
We'll have to probably do a whole episode on it. Yeah, it's definitely.
You could talk forever about that, innit? And you need someone here that wants their child to have the vaccinations.
It'd be good to have somebody on as a
my
guest.
sister, because she let Harry have.
Well, maybe get your sister on that episode just to
give her points to why you should have your vaccinations. Because she obviously believes in it.
Yeah. That'd be interesting, to be fair. Definitely, it's somebody else's point of view. What you saying?
But then her husband doesn't believe in that, even though he did have a jab. COVID.
So he doesn't believe in that, but he believes the world's round. Do you know what I'm saying?
There's a
really?
whole other one. There's a whole other
really,
one.
yeah, the flat Earth episode will be coming.
There's a whole other one.
Like it will.
A whole another one to get it round. Flat like a pancake.
Yeah, definitely. That's gonna be an adventurous episode. So I've got mad research for that. Like I've researched for forever for that. But yeah, that'd be definitely for again. That's gonna be a whole other episode on its own because it's so much content and
evidence.
Just to go through. That we're gonna have to actually put on screen and show. Let the viewers see themselves. Obviously, form your own opinion all you like.
Put your input.
That's what it is. That's what we're here for. That's what you're saying podcast is, isn't it? What you're saying. So you hear what we're saying, but what are you saying as well? So you have your say, your point of view. Obviously, you'll be able to comment. Let us know on topics that you want to hear about as well. That I don't know, touch certain people's nerves, and they want to touch upon them and see what we can come across together and see what we can do. That's what we want to be doing on this platform. We just want to be neutral on it, not kind of what's the word? Force feed you stuff.
Yeah, I just.
Do you know what I mean? You've got to have your own point of view. You've got to have your own point of view in it, otherwise that's where it stands.
What I feel with yours, with your flat earth, like I don't really mind whether it's flat or round, so.
But wouldn't you like to know though?
I just don't.
That's the thing,
I
and it
just don't
wouldn't you
mind.
like to know
I just
though?
don't
That's the
care.
wickedest thing. Yeah, even
And this is where like I laugh at people that get angry at people that don't believe in things like that, because
it's an
people
opinion.
people get mad, and people get mad if you don't believe in what they believe in, stuff like that. So I just think it's
That's why it's
funny
good
because
to put it across from different
what are we
opinions.
gonna do if it is flat? What are we gonna do if it is round? Like there is no.
There is though, because you said this, and that was a very interesting point you touched upon, this Ams, because you're like, what if it is flat or what if it's round? So
what is the difference?
So what's the difference? So if it turns out that it is flat, then we've been lied to, haven't we?
Our whole lives.
This is what. So if you think about it on that perspective, it's going to be massive, because you're going to be thinking about, well, right, what else can they lie about?
Well, everything.
This is what I'm. So it's good to have like an open mind to it, to be like, oh, there's a chance. There's a 50-50 on that.
I feel like you're opening up doors for a whole lot of hatred into like, why are you lying to me? Like, why are you lying to us? It's wasted energy.
Nah, I don't feel like, and because if you're looking for the truth, or you're searching for answers in the truth, as you're on your little quest searching and researching and stuff, you find, and this is what I want to say. To be fair, like everybody that's doing their researching, you find your own truth. So when, like, if you're researching something that I've researched, like Nephilim, like I said to you, or the Watchers and stuff like that, you're gonna gain a completely different perspective. If I give you a piece that I've already researched and looked at, you're gonna look at it in a completely different way to me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like completely. And everybody's view's gonna be like that.
Because we all have a different angle in life.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's what makes us us.
Yeah.
It makes everybody individual. We walk at our own aspect of how we see things, or not how we shouldn't see things. But some people are more open-minded than others, which I get that. Some people are reserved and they believe in their beliefs. But in general, if you actually think of the word believe, it's a doubt in itself. It's doubt, because I believe, like, if you know something,
you don't need to believe it.
You don't need to believe it. With the belief, it's a kind of a strange word, to be fair.
Yeah, so if I'm saying I believe you, I shouldn't have to say
you shouldn't have to say I believe you.
I should be like, yeah, no.
Exactly. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
There shouldn't be no.
Yeah.
But this is, and I guess it's kind of what society as a whole has done to us. It's made us have that doubt in the bit. I believe. I believe. Wait, you shouldn't. You should know.
Literally from Peter.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Come back a day.
Do you like if I say to you, do you believe in your mum and dad?
Yeah.
You believe in them, or do
I
you
know?
You know your mum and this is what
oh,
so you know your mum and dad, don't you?
Yeah.
You don't believe in them.
No. Yeah.
Do you understand? So that word is a bit.
I thought a lot of believing they could do something good.
Yeah, but that's a different kind of belief.
You know they can do something
You know,
good.
it's not a belief. It's the same like I just said to you. Do you believe in you? You don't.
So I believe cars may fly one day.
Yeah.
Because I don't know right now.
But that's room in there for doubt. With everything that's going on with technology at the minute, it's crazy. So there is going to be probably flying taxis whizzing around sooner or later. I've seen a thing of some mad like helicopter looking thing. It looked crazy, to be fair. But you won't catch me on it, because if it ain't got some sealed pressurised doors and it ain't a long ass aeroplane, then.
But even aeroplanes can crash.
Yeah, but.
Or have a terrorist on them.
Oh, come on, man. Let's not get into that. We're not about that on this podcast, people. Like,
happens though. Still a topic.
Okay. Probably another topic.
That we know nothing about.
Nothing about. I like it. never got that though, because this is what I'm saying. Like, if you say ignorance is bliss, that means you can have an eye towards something. It's like what we said at Sam's. It's like, so you say like, ignorance is bliss, and it's best not to know about certain things, or it's okay to know about some things.
Yeah, but then sometimes
And the context I put it in was, well, if you think that, then like, sometimes you've got to think of how you putting things across and how you actually say it, how you
like deliver the message,
how it comes across.
Yeah.
Because what I got from when we was at Sam's is like, so I don't believe the earth or whatever is round or it's flat. But then some things, like I said, with the situation with the Jimmy Savile and the whole situation like that, like, ignorance isn't bliss, because that means sometimes you can cut it off to some things but not to others.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that way. We shouldn't be ignorant to nothing. If anything, you want to know the truth about something, I want to know about something. Do you know what I'm saying? That's another thing as well for another episode that I'm going to be definitely, I've researched for and I've got the notes and stuff there for, is the whole stuff on like our country as a whole, and like the politicians that are just mad corrupting the country. Like, the country's flat on its arse at the minute. Like, it's not getting better. People can't survive. People can just about afford bills, shopping. Like, they've made it this way in this country now for us. Like that. Even if you're a hard-working 9 to 5 person, like, you can't really achieve a lot just alone on wages. Do you know what I mean? And it's crazy like that. We've come from an era where we've seen the value of money decrease as we grow older, which is crazy to think, and it's mad to actually think, that if you think about it, from the 80s, we've lived in 5 different decades.
And we're not even 40.
And we're not even 50, think about it. So 80s, we was born in the 80s, raised in the 90s, lived in the noughties,
The zeros.
the zeros, then 2010, that's 40, 2025,
How is that
so
possible?
that's 5 decades, and we're only 37. How much that? Wrap your head around that.
How is that?
Leave comments about that, think about that. If you are actually the age that we are and you're an 80s baby,
What?
80s, 90s, noughties, 10s, 2020s, that's 5 decades. And then when it hits 2030, that will be 6 decades, but we won't be nowhere near 60.
We'll only just be like 42.
How crazy is that?
What?
I like that. A little bit of a brain bender thrown in there. I like that.
I would have said we've lived nearly 4 decades, and it like that's
No,
what I
but we
would have
haven't.
said.
We've nearly lived in 6 decades.
Wow.
Mad to think about it, and when you actually think about it, you get your.
5. I'm not even 40. What?
It's mad, isn't it?
What?
See?
What you saying?
I think what you say. I think I got that on some mad research. I was just sitting there researching something, and I was like, I come across something, and it was to do with the. I don't even think it was to do with the 80s at the time. I think it was somebody from the 70s era, and it just made me. When I actually put it into perspective, I was like, what?
So is that
How is that
for
even?
everyone?
You think about it, if you was born in the 80s,
Only if you're born in the 80s.
Well, you can't be born in the 90s. You wouldn't be. It'd be 50 now if you was born in the 90s. It'd be 2030, wouldn't it? But from the 80s to here, to where we are, we've seen
5 decades, man. Flabbergasted, is that the word?
Yeah, flabbergasted. So make sure you leave a comment on that one, because that is it's mind baffling for them.
Yeah.
5 decades if you're an 80s baby, you've lived it.
And we're not even 40.
And we're not even 40. How is that?
No.
But they say they even say that we've like our whole timeline's wrong anyway. They say that we've missed 1,000, like there's a 1,000-year gap in our timeline somewhere.
Because there's really 13 months.
So when you go back, like people a lot of people probably won't know, but January isn't the beginning of the year.
And it's
Like it never
April.
is. Everything's cold. Everything's like dead. Like
And
nothing
when all
grows.
the flower starts blooming,
That's the new year, which is
Yeah,
March. That's the
March.
start of the year. Like that's the real start of the year when everything starts growing and blooming and
starts to get
blossoming.
lighter again.
That's when everything's starting to come to life out of like hibernating, all the plants, all the animals. So it's mad how that's another thing that we've people kind of don't. Well, a lot of people don't know it.
No.
If I'm actually being real, people don't really know that we should have 13 months in our calendar. That means there should
would
be.
it be called?
So if there was 13 months, do you know what? To be fair, I'll go through some notes and I'll probably put up. So I'll put up like probably a couple of pictures and statistics of it in this video.
Yeah.
So I'll put it in.
Yeah.
So that obviously the viewers can see, but yeah, it's a bit of a mad one. I don't know. It's kind of it's interesting, proper interesting to like actually sit there and see how it is.
Because then that means everything's off. Our star signs aren't.
Exactly.
So,
So they say that.
There's an extra star sign as well.
Well, think another thing that I like to say. So, like, if there was 13 months, it equals directly every week, every day, well, every week would start with a Monday. Every thing would start end on a Sunday. But that's not how it was. It was the Sunday. That's the start of the week. Do you know what I mean?
What now?
Nah, back then, no. Back then, that's how it was. Look, Sunday was the start of the day. But then it went to Monday. Obviously, Monday. And that's where they've changed it then. Obviously through that, a lot of it changed through the Roman times. Through like when Caesar, he was a person that changed a lot of days. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday was Thursday. They was all named for something. So it was kind of a lot of paganism back then. Like they just believed in anything. They'll just conjure something up and make people believe in it. Like that's it. This is what it is. And
well, they're still doing it.
exactly, but that's how it was. That there was no truth to stuff. There was you can't ask. Oh, what's that? Like it didn't happen. So it would equal that every single month would equal 28 days. So if you had 28 days in every month and add it up,
it's 13 months.
It's 13 months.
Yeah. And then it would be a 4-week process every week, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Not like 31 and 28. Yeah, or 29. 28, 29.
Yeah, 29. What?
The month, you know when like we get 31
Yeah.
in some, and like 30, and then is it 29 or is it 28?
You know, so it's like that. You do it like this. So January has 31. February doesn't. The dip. March has 31. April the dip doesn't. May, June, July, August both have it. July, August, September, October, November, December. That's how you know the 31 days. It's the best way to know it, that is.
I've never ever
You've never seen that?
I've never seen that.
That's the only way I know. Seriously, that's the only way I know. There is a little rhyme thing to it. So your actual knuckle is that you'll start with January, which is 31.
Yeah.
And then the dip is the obviously it's not a number of 31. So then you just follow it along. Obviously it will get you to December there, and that's your 31.
Oh wow.
But yeah, there's a lot of like I said, there'll be many episodes where we come up with like and cover them topics, but there's there is a lot of stuff that we don't know, or we've not been told about, or it's been kept from us for some sort of reason, or.
Well, they don't know themselves, so how can
you can't really say that though. This is what I mean. How can you say that? When a lot of stuff like, especially like media wise and stuff. That's why I'm not really a media person. Like to. Well,
like the news.
Yeah, I don't do that. No, I'm not a news person.
It's just always bad news.
I just feel like it's always promoting a one-way view.
It ruins my brand out.
It's just a one-way view, man. And it's I don't know.
That's always bad news, and it's never good
It's
news on
nothing's
there.
ever good. That's
No.
one thing you will never ever really see on it. You don't open a newspaper and say today, oh, do you know, 1,000 babies were born
And
healthy
it's not
and everything
used.
was okay.
Yeah, and it's not
Now
used
you'll
for
open
like
it, maybe, do you know what I mean? It's going to be something dark, or it's going to be something bad.
yeah.
That's what I feel like it's kind of a not a fearmonger
Yeah, it was a
tactic,
scare. Yeah, it
but
was.
it is a scare.
That's
It
what
is
happened to my
sort of
granddad.
that's what
Yeah.
it's kind of useful as a scare tactic of a. It's like a sort of an extension of another control measure,
It was.
because you've got them people that absolutely
He religiously
they
watched
believe
it.
in everything
Yeah.
that's coming out of that, and it's the saddest thing what I actually see, and it's mad, and it's like I would get it in like films as well. They're just actors who are reading a script. Do you understand? Like a lot of people like devote a lot of time into like a certain person's character, or like an actor, or like a newsreader, and they'll be like, oh, they'll know the name and stuff like that, or they'll follow them on certain social medias, and I'm like, that's not like, do you know what I mean? You're following something that's not, it's not a person, it's not real, it's just an act
Yeah.
that somebody's putting on.
Ooh, shit.
It's just to push out a false narrative on stuff. It is. It's crazy.
For their own benefit.
And yeah, it's never. We never benefit from it. Never. The media's not there for that. It's not there to portray the public as. It's like I said, it's a fear tactic, just to keep people.
I didn't realise how bad it was until the COVID situation.
Yeah. That showed a lot, to be fair, in
Yeah.
this country.
My granddad, innit? I walked in there one day and he said, if you don't get that vaccination, I will die because of you. Because he was saying that basically if I didn't have the vaccination, if I ever get COVID, I'm going to come to his with a stronger variant of it. So I was just like, how? I was like, how are you going to die if haven't you had all your jabs? And that was the argument that it caused between families, because he was sitting there and they're telling him like, oh yeah, if your family members don't have the jabs, don't let them come round to your house. And
But how do you understand that? Like, all right,
when the vaccination
let's
actually
get this
protected
down, viewers.
people.
Like, I don't get that yet, but this is so the whole reason for obviously your granddad to have had the vaccination was to protect him from COVID.
Yeah.
As a whole. That's why you had I don't know, 3 or 4. There was many going around.
Yeah. They're still going around.
Still going around. Even though some of them obviously have been proven now that they did more harm than they did good, because obviously there wasn't enough time to test any of it. Like no way was there enough research.
10 months, wasn't it?
Like it took over. Let me just get it right. It took over 20 years research and to properly produce and test and put out there and get the data out and all the statistics for penicillin. So it took 20 years for that antibiotic to be actually come to fruition and come to the public.
20 years.
Exactly, because you can't just have something and introduce it to the body like we said. Like something to a foreign object, it doesn't go. Two foreign things don't go together.
No.
That's why you see sometimes when people have different organs from people, like they won't take to that person.
That's what it's got to be the right blood and that, isn't it? It's the right match.
Exactly that. So it's just mad. It is. It really is. But we'll definitely touch up on a lot more in more episodes, but in depth on their own. But that's just crazy with the vaccination stuff. I don't get it. Like you're meant to be protected from that, but yet then they're gonna fearmonger your elderly relatives that are like vulnerable anyway because of being old. But then you're gonna fearmonger or fear tactic him into. But if you don't have it, then what?
Yeah.
So like.
Because I'd have the stronger variant of COVID because I've got no.
I don't get that though. It's like
But my point to my granddad was, well,
my point
you've had all your booster, so you will be okay, won't you?
My point was, is that, like I said to my mum and stuff, like there's no way in a million years that I was getting that done. Like I'd have an injection because, like I said, I don't trust the system. Like I don't. I'm not one to just trust them and be like, yeah, let's just put anything in my body. Like we've got no idea. There's no way has there not been any research done to like a high standard, or even to a sub high standard, where you could say, yeah, it works. It was just crazy how it all just happened. And then it's just mad that they're on about other like crazy stuff like at the minute as well. Like there was a first case of so they say, first case of bird flu virus.
What now?
Yeah, that's meant to be going on. I can't think what country it is, but I'll find it up and I'll have a look, and I'll put a link in the description so you can have a look and look it up yourself. But I think it might be in a South American country or something like that. But they're going through some mad shit at the minute, man. It's just crazy like that. It's mad. Everything's just going off like mad in different countries right now. It is. But I wouldn't put shit in my body. I'm not doing it. Like to be healthy and eat healthy and have a gym and promote being healthy. To not be healthy, then it makes no sense in what I'm doing.
Put some vaccination.
Do you know what I mean? Like that I've got no idea what's actually happening in my body. I can't do it. It's not for me. We're not for the system over here. We're not. We don't support that over here. We're independent, free thinking people who.
Well, I think since COVID, I think it's opened a lot of people's eyes now. Like,
yeah,
if
definitely.
we tried to do another lockdown, I don't think half the people that went into lockdown last time will do it again.
Yeah.
Unless like they're ill or their family members are ill right now.
Yeah. Yeah, but that first that case, they're saying that it was the bird flu. That it was the first case that's ever transmuted from a chicken or a bird to a human. So even though we've had like back in the day, like we had foot and mouth and all that bullshit, and then we did have that HM5N1 or whatever, that strain of bird flu that killed a lot of poultry birds and stuff. But then to say now that it's transmuted variant and it's changed on its own, and then just randomly jump to a human, like I don't. This is what I'm saying. Like you can't just. Things don't just do this on their own. Like nothing natural. Yeah, nothing natural in nature does stuff like that. Like it has to be man-made. Like it can't be. There's no. It has to be man-made, introduced. Like nature doesn't make stuff like that. If you know what I mean. It just doesn't.
Like the tree don't sneeze and a disease.
Do you know what I'm saying? It just doesn't do that. Like. Nature doesn't then think, right, there's this strain of bird flu, and what I'm going to do now, the air is just going to make it jump to a human.
Yeah.
Do you know, like you don't work like that. But yeah, that's what they're trying to say at the minute. They're trying to say that it's transmuted from a bird to a human.
And it's coming here.
I'm not too sure if it's, but
or in human form.
But it's the same in America. What they're doing at the minute with Bill Gates buying up all the land and all the farmers. So like what he's doing, he's sending his people out to big massive farms, like local, like independent farms on their own. Like they've done it for years. It's probably been in their family generations. And he's coming in and he's saying, right, I'll buy your farm off you for XYZ amount, probably like way over the asking price, so they can't say no. And then he's getting them to come in and just burn everything. And then chemically then basically, I know it sounds a bit of a mad word, but chemically castrate the land so nothing can be grown, like nothing can.
And why is he doing that?
Because of what? Well, he's a bit of a sick person, isn't he? Bill Gates and Melinda
What's
Gates.
the purpose of that? So that we just can't have fresh food from the ground?
Exactly, because he's the person that produces that appeal, don't he? So have you seen that thing on certain fruits, like a label called appeal? It's like a plastic preservation that they put onto the fruit to make it last longer, and it's all chemical. But he's the main person that runs the company for it. So when he's buying all these big bits of land and killing them off, it's not natural produce, then is it? His produce is then going to be put there in place.
So we've all got to buy off him.
So you've all got to buy off him, so it's all going to be chemical.
And this man rich enough? Wow.
But he said he wants a culling of the population. He said there's too many humans on the earth.
So that's what COVID was all about as well, wasn't it, eventually?
Yeah. Well, it's definitely for. I think definitely like a culling for the older people.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Because they just drop like from.
Because the population hasn't really done nothing because there's bare traffic still. But there's still that population out there because it's still ramming out there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He didn't really do nothing.
No.
This is what I'm saying. So now they've got to ramp up the efforts. Now, yeah.
People are and like cancer's probably on the rise because we don't know what was in them needles.
No.
And blood pressure is one of them as well.
Yeah.
That's on the rise, isn't it? That's for your heart.
Alzheimer's, like that's a mad one for me. Like when we was kids and that, like, I kind of more heard of like Parkinson's disease I did back in the day. I didn't hear of dementia. Yeah. But I didn't really hear of dementia or Alzheimer's, like growing up, like the rare Alzheimer's. But nowadays it's so dementia wards here and there, like in hospitals and care homes for dementia patients. It's like it's mad. But there's been studies that have been done that they say that certain so obviously with toothpaste, fluoride, they know the tests that have been done scientifically. So this isn't me just saying it's been done. That fluoride allows aluminium to absorb more into the body. So aluminium, when they did tests on Alzheimer patients, obviously ones that have passed or as they're getting degenerate in their disease, the more aluminium that an Alzheimer's patient would have in their body or in their brain. So this is the main cause of Alzheimer's. So we know what the main cause of is. Not toothpaste, aluminium.
But the aluminium's in the toothpaste?
No, the fluoride allows the body to absorb more aluminium.
And where is absorbing that aluminium from?
Everywhere. Can be in the atmosphere when they chemtrail and they spray the atmosphere. There's loads of ways. Over years.
So we're not just breathing it in here then? Outside when they're putting all that stuff in the skull.
Remember, like back in the day, like with like you'd have the fillings and stuff. They'd have like lead. Back in the day, they did fillings. They'd do it with lead, so different materials, and they'd get lead. They'd develop lead poisoning in the gums and stuff because or mercury as well. They had mercury fillings, and they'd have mercury poisoning because it had obviously got into their bloodstream, I'm saying, and then into their body because it's just been sitting there. Obviously, you have a mercury filling in. Can't feel it. You just got a mercury filling in. We'd have a normal filling, but not now. It's not metal. But back then, you'd have like a cap, but it'd be metal, mercury. You'd never think it, but yeah, it's leaking into your body slowly. It's mad. That's what I'm saying. People don't get it. And there's a lot of stuff like.
I never knew that about the fillings though.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of stuff.
So when you see people with like them silver things and they're like that.
Yeah.
That is that.
It all depends how old they are.
How long ago was that?
That was like back in the day. That was, to be fair.
I was when we was kids and I ain't got none now, but obviously it was like black, innit?
Yeah.
So what's that? Are you talking like before my time?
Yeah, definitely before our time.
Oh.
Yeah, you lunatic. Definitely. I'm stopping because I need a piss bad. You'll carry on. So guys, that is the episode done of today. First episode done of What You Saying podcast.
What You Saying?
I'm Young Ems, co-host.
Tun-Tun.
We'll be back with another one. So we hope you've enjoyed it.
Adios.
Lock into us. Lock in on the TikTok, What You Saying podcast. Follow, like and subscribe on the YouTube channel, and we'll be back with it. Peace.
Whatever he said.